Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita and today I'm here to bring you a book unhaul. I was going through my bookshelves the other day trying to find more room or different ways of rearranging my books so that I had more room, and I realized there are a lot of books on my bookshelves that I either have no interest in reading, mostly because I don't remember what they're about, or because I've read them and I have no interest in rereading them. So why are they on my bookshelves if I have no interest in rereading them? One thing, if you hear squeaking in the background, that is my puppy. He's in the room. He just fell off the bed. And he is probably going to start squeaking that at some point to get my attention. I'm going to try and keep that under control. We'll see how that goes. But if you hear squeaking here and there, that's what it is. I'm just going to kind of plow through because I don't have editing software. So all of this has to be in one shot. So wish me luck. Let's see how it goes. So let's just get into the books. The first book that I'm going to talk about is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I got this from a secondhand bookshop and I've tried reading it a few times and I've never really gotten past the 4th or 5th page. So there's no reason for me to keep it on my shelves. If I am interested in reading Amy Tan, I can always pick her books up from the library. So for now, this is going to find a better home other than my bookshelves. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil by Stephen Collins. This is a graphic novel and it is about this man who lives in here where everything is perfect, everything is orderly, and there is there where everything is chaos. And one day there creeps into here by growing this beard on this man that he cannot control, and it's society's way of dealing with it. It's okay. I didn't hate it. I also didn't love it. I really didn't see the point in it. And there's probably someone out there who's going to love this book so much more than I did, so I might as well give them the opportunity to read it and enjoy it. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Poison Eaters by Holly Black. There are quite a few of her books that I really enjoy, especially her fairy books. There are other ones that I have not read and I really have no interest in reading. And when I picked this up, I was thinking Holly Black, I love her writing. I've never once had the urge to pick this up since I've bought it, so I'm going to let this one go, see if someone else is interested in it. Hopefully they can get a lot of joy out of it. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Storm, and this is by Boris Starling. I have no idea what this book is about. None whatsoever. I know that I picked this up at a library book sale. That's all I know about it, and there's no reason for it to be on my bookshelves, because I'll never feel the urge to pick it up because I don't remember what it's about, and even if I do read the back, there's so many books on my bookshelves that I want to read that this will always be at the bottom of the list. So why even keep it? The next book is a book that I just finished last night, and that is Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. I did read this. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I gave it 3 stars, which for me is kind of, depending on the book, it's kind of like a meh book for me. This just was not really for me. It's a fairy tale retelling, go figure that I did not love it, and it's about this girl who is a princess, and in order to keep peace she is sent to wed the prince of a neighboring kingdom. Not neighboring is kind of loose, it's like 6 months of travel to even get there. And when they near the city, her lady-in-waiting decides that she wants to be the princess and nobody in this kingdom will know. So she kills almost all the guards, well, her and the guards that are with her, kill almost all the guards, and the princess, the real princess, has to run away and she becomes the Goose Girl. And it's the story from there. It was okay. I didn't love it. This is one of the books that I wanted to read in 2018. I picked 18 books I wanted to read, and I decided that if I did not read them this year, they had to go, and I did read it, and it still has to go, and I'm okay with that. Someone else will love it. I believe that this is a series, and if I want to continue on with it, I'm sure I can get it from the library. There's no need for it to be on my bookshelves. The next book that I'm going to talk about, I think it's a couple of books. Let me see. Yes, there are 3 of them. They're all Anne Rice books. So I have The Tale of the Body Thief, The Mummy, and The Vampire Lestat. The only Anne Rice book that I have decided to keep on my bookshelves is Interview with the Vampire, and that is only really because my grandfather, he told me about it and he thought that I would really enjoy it when I was younger, and he has since passed away, and I just can't get rid of the book because he told me to read it. So I'm going to keep it and I'm going to try reading it. Hopefully I will like it. If not, I probably will get rid of it or not. We'll see. That might just be a book that I don't like, that I'll keep on my shelves forever. But for now, I have no real dislike for it. So that's the only book I'm going to keep, though. I was collecting her books because he told me I would enjoy the series, but I don't need to do that. I'm just going to keep the one. The next book that I have is Beyond the Dark. This is by Laura Lee, Angela Knight, Emma Hawley, and Diane Whiteside. This is a paranormal romance paranormal romance book, and it's by 4 different authors. They each have a story in it. I started reading the first one. I didn't really care about it all that much. I got maybe 10-15 pages into it. Not all that interested, so I'm going to pass this along. The next book that I'm going to talk about is another book that was on my list for 18 to read in 2018, and that is The Borgia Mistress. And I read the first maybe chapter of this and I did not like it, and I don't know if I'm going to choose to replace this book with a different book so that I actually read 18, but I have no interest. I don't want it, so it's gonna go. The next 2 books are by the same author, and I believe they're in the same series, and that is The Giver and Gathering Blue by Lewis Lowry. And these books I have read, I have enjoyed. If I feel like rereading them, I can get them from the library, but they've basically just been sitting on my shelves for years now, so there's no need for me to keep these. Someone else will really enjoy them. And apparently one of them says Mrs. Fallow's book, borrow, read, enjoy, and return. And I don't know if she gave this to me to keep or if I just took it when I was really, really young and never gave it back. But that's a little bit of the life of Margarita when she was young, just stealing people's books apparently. Who knows? He's poking me. The next book that I have to talk about is part of a graphic novel series, no, manga series, and that is Under the Glass Moon, books 1 and 2. This is, I can't pronounce, I'm so sorry about that lighting. I can't pronounce this person's name, but I got these at a secondhand bookshop. I read them, I enjoyed them. I'm never going to be able to find the other books in the series, so why keep these? I believe that you can read manga online, so if I'm really that interested, I can pick these up there. And the next one, these aren't even in order. I have book 1 and then I have book 5, and that is The Queen's Knight by Kim Kang Wong. And I really enjoy these. I love the art style and the story is really cute. But again, I have books 1 and 5. I've read them both. But I'm not going to be able to find the other books. I've looked for them before. Granted, not in Barnes & Noble, but anyway, that's besides the point. I don't need to keep these. I can, again, read these online. I don't need to keep them on my shelves, taking up space. I think the only manga series that I will ever keep, no matter what, is my Sailor Moon series, which is all right here, all of those books, and that's because I loved her when I was really, really young. And I never got any of the stuff for it when I was really young, and then when they remade them, I was like, I'm all over that, so I will never get rid of those. But I think that's probably going to be the only manga series that I ever really keep. What is he getting into? I'm afraid to turn around. The next book that I have to talk about is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. And a friend of mine told me that she absolutely hated this book, and once she told me that, I decided I didn't care anymore. And I've tried picking it up since, but I'm just like, meh, Sarah says she hates it, so why read it? So I'm just going to let this one go. I know people like it. I'm not one of them. The next book that I have to talk about is Forest of Memory by Mary Robinette Kowal. I spent so much money on this book because it's a signed copy. First of all, this book, what was the point of it? It is 85 pages. 85 pages that I can't get back in my life. I don't understand the point of this book. It's about this, it's the future where this girl, like, looks for artifacts of, I guess, what's our time, so like a typewriter. Oh my god, this is amazing. And it's like really far in the future, I guess. And she gets kidnapped by some guy doing something with deer. That's the story. I don't understand the point of this story. I hate it so much. There's no need for me to keep this. Even though it is really short or small and it doesn't really take up space, I don't want this anywhere near me. So this has to go. Sorry, I just got really heated there. The next book that I have to talk about is The Shining Girls by Lauren Bukes. I read this book last year. I believe I finished it, and it's not a bad book. It just, certain things have happened in my life that this book, I don't need it in my life. I wish I had not read it. It's incredibly violent. It's about this serial killer who goes around and he can jump through time, and he's killing these girls, which are the Shining Girls. And please don't stop at my house. Sorry, it's a UPS truck, and my other dog, he's gonna go crazy if he stops at my house. Anyway, so this serial killer is jumping through time, killing these different women, so nobody can really connect the dots except for one of his victims who survives. And it's just so violent, and it's so horrible, and the violence against women just really rubs me the wrong way. And there was something that happened in my life that happened, I think, right before I started reading this, and as I was reading it, it just kept making me cringe. And I'm sure someone is going to love this book. I just, because of life experiences now, I just can't. So we're just gonna leave it at that. I can't. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Stardust by Neil Gaiman, and I enjoyed this book. It's not a bad book. I'm never going to reread it though. If I want to re-immerse myself in the story, I will watch the movie. So there's really no point in keeping this book. I'm starting to see a pattern with Neil Gaiman and I though, where I don't necessarily hate the books, but I really don't care about them either. So I have a feeling I will no longer be purchasing Neil Gaiman. If I want to read him, I'll probably just try and pick it up from the library. But someone will really love this. It's just, I'd rather watch the movie than read that book. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The 13 Hollows by Michael Scott and Colette Friedman. And I thought about hanging on to this book. I believe that it's about, God, what is it about? I think it's about like demons and coming into the world and trying to let Lucifer out of hell, or I don't know. It seemed kind of interesting, and it was interesting when I picked it up. And when I reread the synopsis, like, yeah, maybe I'll like start a pile of books where if I want, like, I'll give them a try and then get rid of them. Why even have that middleman? So it's just gonna go, and someone else can enjoy it. I got that again at a library book sale. Quite a few of these books that I don't remember what they're about, I got at a library book sale. He's chewing on something over here, and I have a feeling, since it's not squeaking, that it's one of my socks. But I'm not going to deal with that right now. It was a sock. Jackass. Anyway, continuing on. And that is The Law of Similars by Chris Bohjalian. And I'm sorry about the lighting again there. It's kind of a really weird day, so I use natural lighting, and it's just, I'm so white, it's just messing with it. Don't really remember what this book is about. I believe it's about a policeman in a small town who falls in love with this woman, but she might be the suspect in this murder. I don't really know. I think it had something to do along those lines. So I'm not all that interested, so I'm just gonna let that one go. I think, oh my god, no, 2 more. We have 2 more books and then we're done. So the next book that I'm going to talk about is The Golden Rose by Kathleen Bryan. This is a book that I got at a library book sale. It was actually a library book at one point. And I was actually very interested in reading this book, and there are mermaids or mermen on the cover, which I thought they were pretty cool. But this is the second book in a series, so I need to stop doing that. I didn't realize it was a series when I picked it up. I thought this was a standalone. So I need to find the first book and read it, and then I can get the second book and read it, but I don't need to keep it on my shelves. And the same thing goes for this, and this was a book outlet purchase. I should have known better, but I didn't. And that is The Dark Deeps, The Hunchback Assignments 2 by Arthur Slade. This is the second book in Hunchback Assignments, I guess, trilogy, series, whatever it is. And I can't find the first book, so why am I keeping the second book? If I can find the first book, I'll read it. And if I like it, I'll read the second book. But for now, there's no reason for me to keep all these books on my shelves. So I have been able to reorganize my bookshelves a little bit. I will continue reading books, and if I don't like them, I will continue to get rid of them, and I will let you guys know at my next unhaul. So that's it. That's all I have, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!